When creating something new, something different, it takes more than just one body. It takes a mile. Every click of a mouse, every weld, every bolt is an important piece of a greater whole. Together, the hands and minds of our people are what allows us to make the equipment that enables you to do more.
We started the market research probably about 12 years ago.
Shredding, sounds simple, but it's a tough game.
Some of the goals that we set out early on in the project weren't easy. They were industry issues that nobody else has been able to solve. We had to find out a way to get there.
Early on in developing, you're testing different mechanisms or different designs, and you don't really know if they're going to work.
So it was a lot of trial and error. And once you have a failure of some mode, you basically start your testing over.
The biggest challenge on the project has been the unknowns. It's a brand new project. We weren't exactly sure what we were getting into when we started this project.
The scope up front was maybe more than what we realized, but that's what was important to the customers. That's what the customer needs are.
We really had to prove out the components through our testing, prove that it was repeatable from one day to the next. It needs to do the same work every day, day after day.
So we had to find a way to achieve that.
We did our due diligence, the engineering, the testing.
The amount of steel, the mechanical components, the vendor quality that we receive and what we put on these machines, it needs to be there, it needs to be right.
The biggest challenge of working on this machine would be that it's new. Trying to have everybody on the team learn it, not try to rush through it, make sure that we do it right first time.
And finally, we got to a solution that we feel will treat the shredder market as a success.
Some of our final testing is just rugged testing for hours and hours and hours, and we can't have a failure.
So that takes a while. We also wanted to make sure that as we went to the market, it was right.
I've seen the machine become very reliable. You know, that's our goal, that's our test plan.
We don't want to go to the market and really, stumble. So take the extra time up front and make sure we're entering the market with a proven machine.
I think that the customers will love this. This machine is pretty neat what it does, from like different applications you could put in it. It's a pretty good machine. When we got to watch it run, it's got a lot of power. Very, very durable.
People will be really amazed at what we've come up with.
So yeah, it takes a mile. No, it takes the mile.
Hi, and thank you all for tuning in to this exciting new product announcement from Vermeer. I'm standing here in Plant 3 that has stood for over 50 years. Here, over 200 dedicated Vermeer employees come to work each day to fabricate and assemble some of the most productive machines in the recycling, forestry, and waste processing industries. We are proud to announce a new addition to our lineup, the first low-speed, high-torque shredder from Vermeer. This machine is designed to solve many of the challenges that operators face in the industry. Our team of engineers, designers, and product experts have been working tirelessly on a machine that is highly productive, easy to maintain, feature-rich, and offers more options for versatility on your job sites. Let's jump over to Blaze in the arena for a first look at one of the most exciting and anticipated launches in years.
Introducing the Vermeer LS3600TX low-speed shredder. Marker. This high-torque machine is the first shredder offering in our lineup of waste processing powerhouses. Featuring a single shaft, welded rotor, and adjustable comb, the LS3600TX can efficiently process contaminated waste streams and materials that could otherwise cause damage to a high-speed grinder. Operations that deal with C&D, pallets, green waste, MSW, and other approved synthetic materials will love the performance and flexibility that this machine provides. But unlike shredders of the same class, the LS3600TX addresses long-standing frustrations and maintenance issues. Access to the rotor, comb, and engine makes it one of the most maintenance-friendly shredders on the market. A fully mechanical driveline with a ball detent torque limiter offers maximum torque delivery while protecting critical machine components. And our design allows you to adjust comb pressure, spacing, and tooth configurations to achieve ideal product sizing. The LS3600TX is powered by a CAT C13B Tier 4 final, Stage 5 diesel engine capable of delivering 456 horsepower. The discharge conveyor system can come equipped with an overband magnet to remove those metal contaminants from the end product. And the full function remote will allow operators to spend more time in the cab feeding the machine. Before we take a closer look at what makes the LS3600TX stand out, let's hear more from Jeff and Ted about who this shredder is for. Guys?
All right, thank you, Blaze. Next, we'd like to transition and talk about the early days of this project and what we heard from our customers and what they were looking for in a shredder, as well as applications and markets this machine is really intended to serve. And with me here today is Jeff Bradley, our product manager with the Recycling and Forestry Group. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, Ted. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So let's start off talking about those early days when we went out and talked with customers about some of the challenges and things they really wished they had in a shredder. And I think those three things kind of revolved around ease of maintenance, efficiency of operation, and then challenges with environmental concerns. So talk to me first about that first one of the ease of maintenance.
As we went out and talked to customers before we ever started the project, the number one thing we heard on almost every customer site was the challenges they had with the current products that are in the field from a maintenance perspective. They were too difficult, they took too long, and just held them up from production.
Yeah, these applications are pretty abusive, and so breakdowns are going to happen. Getting accessibility to it and the ease of working on them is pretty critical.
Absolutely.
Number two, we probably heard quite frequently is efficiency of operation. Talk to me about how we even listen to that.
As we were talking with the customers, they talked about, the slim margins they work on. And being able to have a machine that's as efficient as possible to produce a product, basically to increase the revenue at the end of the year is really what it's all about. That can include how fast it feeds, the fuel burn per cubic yard off the back. So it all comes down to just how efficient is the machine. So that was part of the decision making as we designed the machine.
Right, yeah. Or how long components last. We did a lot of intentional design around that as well. So the third bucket is the environmental concerns. Talk to me about what we heard about when it comes to environmental concerns.
A number of the customers are located very close to neighbors. So with that being said, you want to be, good neighbors, so keep your noise down to keep them all happy, as well as dust. Dust is another one of those, from a mitigation standpoint, is incredibly important. You don't want your neighbors waking up the next morning and having dust all over their cars or their equipment or their houses. So we heard that pretty loud and clear.
Right, absolutely. So let's transition now over to the markets this machine is really intended to serve. I think there's three primary markets we're going to be focused on, and those are the construction demolition debris market, the contaminated green waste market, and then the municipal solid waste market. So let's start with that first one. What are some of the applications and ways this machine is going to serve the construction demolition market?
So today they bring in materials, construction demolition debris, C&D, which may be pallets, dimensional lumber from building sites, railroad ties. There's a lot of these materials that actually have a lot of foreign material embedded within them and they don't know. So to reduce the likelihood of damage, use a shredder versus a high speed. And that's really what the machine is designed for, is to be able to handle those type materials.
Yep, absolutely. So another market that we're very familiar with and serving well today is that green waste market, and specifically for the shredder, the contaminated green waste market. What are some of those applications this machine will serve?
So, unfortunately, we have a lot of natural disasters recently. So you're going to have a lot of storm cleanup, whether it be a tornado, a hurricane. Within those material streams, you really never know what's inside that pile. So to be able to have a machine that is designed and built to be able to handle that while separating the metal on the backside so you can actually finish process it with a high-speed grinder. The other application would really be a land clearing application. As you're pushing up trees and bushes and all that, you really may get other materials in there. So to be able to have a confidence level that the machine is designed and built for that, that's what the shredder is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So then third is a new market to Vermeer in the municipal solid waste space. Talk to me about some of the applications and the way this machine can serve those markets.
So from an MSW perspective, the majority of the market will be around power generation. So as they collect the materials, they actually process it, get it down to size, and then send it to an electric generation facility. So they'll burn it and generate electricity. Part of the reason for that is they're increasing the landfill diversions. So trying to keep that material out of the landfill. So the second part of that would be, if it does go to the landfill, being able to process it at the landfill to increase the compaction rate at the landfill, therefore increasing the longevity of the landfill itself.
Thank you, Jeff. Let's take a closer look at some of these innovative features and pass it over to Blaze. Blaze?
Thanks, Ted. I'm standing here at the front of the LS3600TX, and as you can see, the engine bay is highly accessible. An included maintenance ladder grants access to a work platform where you can easily reach the engine, transmission, torque limiter, and gearbox, resulting in more room for service and a more comfortable experience. Aided by a grab bar for safety, there is enough space for a technician to stand to inspect critical components and perform routine maintenance. The shroud itself is a bolt-on design and can be detached and removed completely for engine replacement. For a look at access to the rotor box, I'm going to pass it off to Curtis.
Thanks, Blaze. First, you can see that the comb and access panel of the LS3600TX opens upward. This allows outstanding access to the rotor, comb, and belly conveyor. The ladder mounts quickly to provide access into the rotor box to perform maintenance. Looking inside of the rotor box, you'll find a maintenance platform for an ergonomic service experience. Here, technicians and operators can easily torque rotor teeth, perform comb maintenance, and replace wear parts. To make rotor maintenance and inspection convenient, a service jog functionality allows you to safely turn the rotor in short pulses to access each tooth and mount. Speaking of wear parts, the comb teeth on the LS3600TX are double-ended to allow for twice the wear surface on each part. By adjusting a single bolt, the comb tooth can be quickly reversed to keep you up and running. Look to the rear side of the rotor box and you'll see the cleaning fingers. These help prevent material from falling through unprocessed while also removing material that may be wrapped around a rotor tooth. And finally, the entire belly conveyor can be removed without the need to detach the discharge conveyor, allowing for non-invasive service. The belt can be patched or changed, flashing adjusted, and rollers can be serviced. Thank you, Curtis. I think the maintenance-friendly features are going to be really obvious when you walk up to this machine.
Yeah, as you saw, those are really the key features that let the customers and owners minimize the amount of time they're spending doing that maintenance, get them back up and running quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job there. So next up, let's talk about the direct drive line, and we're going to hand it back over to Blaze. Blaze?
Thanks, Ted. First, let's take a look at what powers the LS3600TX. It is powered by a CAT C13B 456 horsepower A-rated engine. Our A-rated engine gives us 100% full-duty cycle for 100% of the engine's useful life. Mated to the CAT C13B is a twin-disc transmission. This transmission has a forward and a reverse gear with dual clutches. When the engine reaches droop, the transmission will do an automatic reversal. During the reversal process, it is cleaning out the hopper to then re-engage in the forward gear. Upon the fourth reversal in a 5-minute window, the transmission will put you into a safety lockout for 4 minutes. By doing this, it is allowing the transmission to cool down so you don't lock up the clutches. The next piece in our mechanical driveline system is a ball detent torque limiter. This will protect the transmission and gearbox from damage from unshreddable materials. The ball detent torque limiter is easily reset by doing a quick half-turn reversal of the rotor, getting you back to shredding. The final piece to our mechanical driveline is a planetary gearbox. with a 61.1-to-1 reduction, slows the rotor down to 30 RPM while maximizing torque.
Thank you, Blaze. So as you can see, we've got a really nice, fully mechanical direct drive line for an efficient transfer of horsepower, but with protection.
Yes, as we saw with the ball detent, that's a way to truly protect the entire investment, the drive line, the gearbox, all the componentries within the drive.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up, we're going to pass it over to Curtis to talk more about the versatility for different applications. Curtis?
When configuring the rotor on the LS3600TX, we have two options to choose from, a short tooth and a tall tooth. This allows you to customize the rotor configuration for your specific application. The comb spacer blocks within the rotor box have 4 marked settings, each providing a different tolerance to aid in material sizing. These block settings can be changed easily with a single bolt, getting you back to shredding. Adjustability goes even further on the LS3600TX thanks to adjustable comb pressure settings. To help prevent damage from unshreddable material and to aid in product sizing, the comb pressure is adjustable from 1300 to 2000 psi. The hydraulically controlled overband magnet removes ferrous contaminants from the discharge belt and can be adjusted for burden height.
Thank you, Curtis. That's a perfect feature to end on, as this machine was built to be versatile in so many applications. Next up, we've got Jeff over in the museum to give us a little historical context for why Vermeer decided to get into this space.
Vermeer horizontal grinders and tub grinders have been helping recycling operations and waste processors turn organic materials into usable end products for 30 years. With the introduction of the LS3600TX, we're able to help our customers process more than just clean materials that our high-speed grinders are capable of grinding. The LS3600TX will allow customers to process materials that are contaminated due to low rotor speed coupled with a high torque rotor configuration. These materials include storm cleanup debris, contaminated green waste, railroad ties, heavy C&D, and MSW. The LS3600TX can process these materials while removing ferrous metals, allowing customers to increase the material types they take in to create additional revenue streams. After the metal is separated from the organic material, they can utilize our Vermeer horizontal or tub grinders for final product sizing needs. But what makes this shredder a Vermeer is what we did differently. Outstanding maintenance access and serviceability, maximized torque delivery while protecting the driveline, and industry-leading adjustability for the ideal end product. Let's go back to Ted for a final look at the LS3600TX in our lineup.
It all began 30 years ago with our first high-speed tub grinder, the TG400, designed to help recycle large wood waste. As job sites evolved, the demand for a machine to handle different waste applications was needed, so we introduced our lineup of horizontal grinders to the market. Both types of grinders have been continually redesigned to better serve our customers, and they remain pivotal in our lineup today. With the addition of the LS3600TX to our portfolio, we are yet again addressing the challenges of the industry by enabling our customers to process a wider range of difficult materials. We are excited to witness the low-speed shredder work in conjunction with our high-speed grinders by pre-shredding bulk waste materials. We can't wait to see the impact that this innovative machine will have on the productivity of our customers worldwide. Reach out to your local Vermeer dealer for more information on all of our trusted Vermeer equipment. Thank you for joining us.